time for baseball.
Welcome in to the first and inaugural edition of the Yankee Review podcast. I'll be your host. My name is Angelo, and this will really serve for the next 162 games here as my little slice, I guess we would say, of the Yankees universe. So I appreciate you listening. Make sure you subscribe. This will be either a twice or three times a week podcast where I will be reviewing and breaking down any and all of the Yankees games, big hits, tough moments, great interviews, and quick snippets and little things that I can pick out of each game and break down as some turning points for you. I think it'll be a lot of fun. We've already seen what happened on opening day. Obviously not the result any Yankee fan wanted, but wanted to make sure that I could get this thing started, break down opening day, some spring training, and we will keep it rolling here. So thanks for joining us. Make sure you subscribe. We also have a YouTube channel, The Yankee Review, where we'll be putting up some videos and, like I said, quick little snippets and breakdowns as well. So let's get right into it. So to start it off, I wanted to just quickly, for myself, give an intro. My name's Angelo. I've been a Yankee fan my entire life, played baseball since, I could hold a bat 2-3 years old, and just love the game, love watching more than anything. I pick up a lot of different little things. I tend to be pretty analytical, so I watch the games really intently. And I saw some things in opening day in our game number 1 of our 162 here that I thought were pretty interesting, or some turning points. Wanted to break them down for us and just kind of give some commentary. This will really serve as a that kind of commentary platform as I move forward here. So about the Yankee Review, it was just something I wanted to start up and like I said, give my input and have my little slice of Yankees universe here. So I really do appreciate you listening. And I would love your feedback. I'd love your comments, any of your reviews on Apple, Spotify, anywhere that you're getting your podcast or listening to me right now, YouTube. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe, anything. If you hate the video, if you hate the commentary, tell me what you want to, what you want to hear and what you wanted to change to, and I'd be happy to. So I would love to just hop right into Garrett Cole, man. This guy, he went out there on the bump opening day, and there was maybe 1 or 2 pitches that he wanted back. Obviously, that Teoscar Hernandez home run, you could tell he was pretty pissed. He left that breaking ball right over the heart of the plate, but he was firing. He was pitching really well, and most importantly, he was working well with Gary Sanchez. Now, Gary, as many Yankee fans know, had been pushed out kind of at the end of the season. He wasn't hitting well, pretty much for the entire season. Cole didn't really jive or work well with him, so they had Higashioka working with him. But you come out on opening day, Booney sets everything straight. He puts Gary right in that lineup with his ace. And he, in my mind, this was saying, this is going to work this year, and I will make it work. And man, Gary and Garrett Cole were both committed to that. It was awesome to see them working together, working in tandem, and working well. I really thought, Garrett Cole, of course he's going to be our ace. Of course he's going to be, our number 1 guy the entire season, possibly the best pitcher in baseball. And you need your best catcher to be working well with him. You can't kind of handicap yourself, and no offense to Higashioka, but you can't be handicapping yourself every 5th day, just to get Cole on the mound and make sure that he's feeling right, because obviously that's the most important thing on that day. So you're going to sacrifice Gary, even though that bat, it clearly is much better than Higashioka. So I love everything Kyle does. I think Kyle Higashioka is a great player. I love seeing him out there. I think he's a wonderful addition to the roster, and almost like a little bit of that Austin Romine type, where good for the collective unit. A great player, a great teammate, and an awesome backstop. Gary, as we know, has not always been known as an awesome backstop, but it looks like he's kind of changing the tides here a little bit this year, or trying to at least. So excited to see what Gary can do. And then we saw him come out there and make a statement. It was inspiring to see Gary go out there and really just crush it. I mean, even in that last inning, of course, his homer, right? We're all excited about the 2-run homer. But in that last inning, coming up first in the 9th, it's a 2-2 game, and you work a walk. He's not trying to do too much. He was patient, and he was able to help his team, in my opinion, in the best way possible there. Get yourself on base, slow things down a little bit. You had Romano on the mound, who clearly was not feeling right. And, of course, the Yankees failed to capitalize. But, man, I think Gary was our main catalyst, and hopefully that continues, that he is a really great and main part of our offense every game, because when he is that, when he's that power bat that can, like we saw, hit that bomb and also be selective at the plate, and he can do anything he wants. So excited to see what Gary Sanchez can do this year. And then another guy that I was really interested in his post game was Judge. You barely saw a smile on the guy's face if he even cracked one, and he sounded distraught and upset. And honestly, that's exactly what I want from my captain. That's exactly what I want from the guy that is supposed to be the main charging voice for our offense, especially a guy that put the blame on himself pretty much and said, I let the team down twice. I'll play the clip here for you, but I love him taking this leadership role. Booney has said multiple times that, he hasn't named names, but he's inferred almost that I believe it's Judge and Stanton who multiple times have gotten up in front of the team, addressed the team. They seem to be the most vocal leaders, especially from that offensive side. Of course, Gardy as well, just being there so long and such a mainstay. But these two guys, especially Judge, man, taking that leadership role, and it seems like he's really embracing that this year, and I'm excited to see what he can do. So I'll play a quick clip here of what I thought was some great insight from him, and you can hear the distress in his voice, man, and I love that. Honestly, it's game one. There's 161 other games, but man, he just took it right on the chin and was like, "This is not going to happen." So excited to see what he could do. I'll play the clip for you.
Game one of a long season, had opportunities in the 7th and again in the 9th. Was it a frustrating day at the plate for you?
Yeah, especially when you don't come up for your team there. In the 7th, having the bases loaded, 1 out, I just got to get a ball in the air, give us the lead. And then I end up, grounding out, double play in an inning. And then there in the 9th, too, same thing. Guys in scoring position, just hit something the other way, get in the gap, watch the guys run, wasn't able to come through, so it's, let the team down twice there, and then even, the ball over my head, it's, another opportunity we could have, at least held them or at least caught that or cut the guy off or kept him from scoring and didn't do it. So, a lot of missed opportunities on my part.
Like I said, I love Judge. Love to hear him taking on that leadership role with the team, and cannot wait to see what he can do. I'm not worried about the strikeout in the 9th, where pretty much he just shouldn't have taken that many pitches. He should have made sure, and he even said, as you heard, I need to put the ball the other way and just win the game for us, and he didn't. But it'll come. He's a true professional. I love the way he's embraced that leadership role this year. So I wanted to quickly get into that 9th inning as I'm talking about it here and just break down something that I saw, because the Yankees had this game in the bag. Yankees won the game, in my opinion. Could have turned the TV off and it should have been done. I'm a big believer in small ball. I'm a big believer in how Booney played it. He had Gary get on, immediately pinch ran for him with Tauchman, and Tauchman goes out there, steals second, and then steals third. So you've got a man in Tauchman now who is sitting at third base, and all we need is a long fly ball. We don't need anything else besides a long fly ball. We see Clint Frazier walk, and then DJ gets up with 1 out, and man, it's an 0-0 count. So first pitch here, we put Gardy on first to pinch run, and to talk about that for a second, I think the only reason you're putting Gardy there on first is, 2 reasons. One, I immediately thought, all right, we're trying to stay out of the double play. He's going to take the bag first pitch. We're not going to get doubled up to end the game here and go to extras. We're at least going to give us a chance to have 2 batters to get this guy in from third. And secondly, then it's, well, if something happens and Tauchman at third were to get back picked, or what happened where it was a ground ball to third, he probably shouldn't have gone home there, but he tries to score, gets thrown out. Now you've at least got Gardy, a guy with good speed on second base with 2 outs. All you need is a base hit from Judge to win the game. But man, he, when DJ gets up there, he just isn't himself for that one pitch. I thought for sure he's going to take that pitch. Romano hadn't looked good. He's like 17 pitches into the inning with only 1 out, 2 men on, bottom of the 9th. Man, DJ's the guy we want up. And he goes out there and just rolls over that first pitch, man. And it's just like, gosh, DJ, what's the point of us putting Gardy on first base if you're just gonna swing at the first pitch, right? At least give him the chance to get take that bag. If he's not going to take the bag to try to get us out of the double play, and that wasn't Booney's thought and didn't want him to do that, well then okay, you've still, you're sitting here with one strike and you've got the same exact agenda that you just had, which was to just put the ball to the right side or put it in the air. It's got to be one or the other. And, of course, putting it to the right side on the ground, you may, turn it into a double play. Hence why we would want Gardy to take second base there. And if Gardy gets thrown out, it's still, it sucks, but it's 2 outs and a man on third. Now you've got to get a hit instead of a fly ball, but you've still got the guy on third there. I just don't know what we're doing swinging at that first pitch. It's tough. I love DJ. I love him as a player, but that's a tough first pitch to swing at, especially just the way things were lining up. You see him roll over. Like I said, Talkman gets thrown out at home. Gardy advances to second. Judge comes up, strikes out, and it's he's ending the inning there. It's tough, man. It's really tough, but it's something that as I was watching that one pitch was where the Yankees lost the game. It was that one pitch, that first pitch to DJ, where if he takes that pitch, I really believe he now, whether it's 1-0 or 0-1, he's able to just kind of get his head straight, put the ball to the right side, put the ball in the air, win the game. So watching that was pretty excruciating. Like I said, didn't really understand putting Gardy in just to swing at the first pitch, but it is what it is. We will we'll move on to the next game here. As many know, you go into extras there. That rule where I think it's a ridiculous rule, by the way. We're putting guys on second base. This is like AAU travel baseball. The other team yields the field at 3. It's like 2:30 and you're trying to quicken the game up. It's the major leagues. There's no reason to be doing this. There's no reason to be just throwing a guy on second base, because as major league hitters, in my opinion, you should be able to lead that inning off with a hit, lead that inning off with a double. And once you've done that, you're putting yourself in the same position that the MLB puts you in with this dumbass rule. And, excuse my language, but man, it is just tough to see that. And I get both teams get the same advantage and you're going to put it, but then at that point, what are we doing? You're going to put a guy on second base. Maybe there's a base hit, 3 outs, right? Okay, 1 run. Now the next team's going to have the same exact advantage. They're going to get a base hit. It's, in my opinion, it can just continually roll and roll and roll. Now we saw it didn't happen with the Yankees, but you see the only hit in the inning that made them lose was a leadoff double. And if that guy isn't on second base, Grichuk goes to second on the double. They're in the same exact spot that you put them in with that rule, but they've earned it. And to me, that makes a lot more sense. So I want these guys to earn it. I want these teams to earn it. I love baseball. Couldn't care less how long the game goes. I get there may be issues sometimes with, the casual fan and how long the game goes. But we were looking at the game. It's like, game's only like 3.5 hours. I mean, you're not going to a 9-inning baseball game and expecting to leave in under 3 hours. If you do, man, that was, Cole versus Bauer and it was 3-3. Like, it's got to be something like that, of course. And I don't really enjoy watching, just a pitcher's duel like that. I do enjoy the offense, in my opinion, more. But, to each his own, I guess. If people love the pitcher's duel, then, that's great. And that would be the game for them, right? The 2-hour and 38-minute quick game. And it's a, 2-0 winner or something. And it's like one pitch that the pitcher made, like kind of like Cole's pitch. He makes that one bad pitch that could be the game. And, when I watch some of these games and I look at these rules they're trying to put in for the casual fan, it's just really tough to get behind any of it, but especially this extra inning rule, man. Like I said, the Blue Jays really didn't earn that run, in my opinion, because you get the leadoff double and then you had 3 Ks back to back to back. So, really the Yankees pitching is able to settle down at that point, get 3 outs and not allow Grichuk to score. In my opinion, they didn't earn a run that inning, but the only way they earned the run is through the rule and having that hit backed up, right after the guys put there on second base. So really tough, in my opinion, to lose that way. Of course, the Yankees had the same exact advantage coming up the next inning. They faced, Julian Merriweather, I think his name was, and man, he was just shoving. He was coming in with, not only gas, but off-speed pitches that are dropping off the table, and it was just a nightmare to watch them go down like that in the 10th inning. But it is what it is. We gotta just kind of put that one behind us, put the rule behind us. I know it's gonna last for the rest of the year. Hopefully, it doesn't go into next year. My thinking would be that if the collective bargaining agreement and the Players Association can get it together, they'll probably end up switching out your universal DH for that rule, or hopefully. I've also seen, they're experimenting with some rules in the lower levels now where you would actually have to fully step off the rubber before trying to pick someone off. I hope they don't keep trying to put these different things into the game. Rob Manfred just seems like a bonehead to me. And some of these, I know, it's tough when you don't come to an agreement and, you've offered something and the players don't want to give up the expanded playoffs, but the universal DH really deserves a spot. I mean, I'm watching the game last night. Yu Darvish, 1, 2, 3, strikeout. Trevor Bauer, 1, 2, 3. He's facing Julius Chassin, 1, 2, 3. K. And it's just tough to see that it's, Dodgers offense rolling, then it stops. You see Padres offense rolling, then it stops. I hate that. We've got to get the universal DH in here. We've got to get this bonehead play or bonehead rule out of here where we're just adding a guy on second base because the Little League team behind us has the field in 25 minutes and we've got to hurry up. I think it's bullshit. But enough with my complaining about the rule here. As I said, I think we all probably despise it. But wanted to talk about some spring training and a little bit of the numbers that I saw that I thought were pretty intriguing. First off, Domingo Germán. Say what you want about the guy as a person, but it seems like the team is rallying around him as someone that is trying to do better, trying to learn from his mistakes. And we saw, I believe it was him, and at the time it was his fiance, who's now his wife. That's when the incident happened. I mean, they're now married. She never pressed charges. It seems like it was handled not only internally within their family, but internally within the Yankees organization. Of course, he was suspended and all that. But regardless, he comes back into the season. The team would not be behind him. The organization would not be behind him if they didn't think he's making the right strides. He's making the right steps. And then you look at what he did in spring training. The guy goes out there and just absolutely shoves. It's, you're looking at what he's doing. I'll give you some stats here, right? So Domingo Germán, 4 games started. He threw 13 innings. Through those 13 innings, he had a 1.38 ERA, 17 Ks, and a .77 whip. For comparison, over that same amount of time, Cole threw 18 innings. He had a 2.45 ERA, 24 Ks, and a .98 whip. I'm really excited about the Ks for Germán. If you watched him pitch, you saw the 2 runs he gave up were in his final start. He didn't give up any earned runs through those first few starts that he had. The first 3 starts that he had. And then in that 4th start, he gives up a home run to Akil Baddoo. And I'm watching the game. I think Germán honestly made a good pitch. He got it in. Probably not in enough, but he gets this pitch in on Baddoo's hands, and the guy just turns on it and launches the ball into the right field seats there, but it was down the line. So he got it in on him, and the guy just had a quick bat. Akil Baddoo, he's not any crazy star, but he's a good player. He, I believe he actually did make the Detroit Tigers team this year through one reason or another, not trying to lose draft picks or compensation or what, but he really got him on that one pitch, and that was it. The rest of the spring, Germán was dominant, only gave up 9 hits, and then that home run was one of them, right? So, man, the 1.38 ERA was far lower, of course, and then the .77 whip. Just excited to see what he could do this year, in this Yankees rotation. And, furthermore, guys that we picked up like Corey Kluber. I mean, Corey Kluber went out there with a 1.31 whip. He only gave up 4 earned. I know Tyone didn't have a ton of work. He did throw 8 1/3 innings. He started 3 games, only gave up 1 run. He had a 1.08 ERA with a 1.56 whip, 14 Ks. Look, Kluber struck out 14 guys as well. So these are some encouraging numbers from these starters. And then a guy that, he's been on the Yankees for a few years now, but really excited what Gumby could do this year. Jordan Montgomery, 10 innings pitched in spring. He only gave up 1 earned. It was a .90 ERA and a .70 whip. These Yankees starters are definitely going to do some damage this year. We saw Garrett Cole, he like I said, made 1, maybe 2 mistakes in that entire time that he was pitching the, opening day. And I can't wait to see what these other 4 guys are going to do behind him and how they'll bring up the rear of this rotation and, flip it back to him. I believe we're looking at Tyone will not start. We're going to keep Cole on the right amount of rest here due to the off day right after opening day. So Tyone will pitch next week, but very excited for all of these 5 starters. I think we've put together a good rotation, which has, of course, been an issue year in and year out for us. So very excited for that. Now let's quickly preview today's game, as I am recording this early in the morning here on Saturday, April 3rd. But, excited for what we could do today. I would assume we're going to see a similar lineup with DJ, Judge, Hicks, Stanton. I would assume we're going to see some version of Gary, Glaber, Gio in these 5, 6, 7 spots. Maybe we're adding Jay Bruce in there. I would assume Voit probably heads to the 5th spot when he comes back, and then you kind of push everybody down. Maybe you're going to hit Glaber right behind him, then Gary. Gio, it seems like they're pretty intent on keeping him a little bit lower in this lineup, so probably in that 8 or 9 spot. Maybe he bumps up to 7. And then we're going to see Clint Frazier, it looks like routinely hit at the bottom of the order here. And I'll play the clip for you, but he's ecstatic about hitting the bottom of the order. He doesn't give a shit. This guy just happy to be on the team. So I'll play the clip for you. I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was, intriguing to see a guy of his caliber, a prospect that was as touted highly as he was, to be able to take that back seat and to kind of know his role on this team.
Clint, can you talk about the potential of this lineup? It's certainly one of the most powerful in the American League. Yeah,
I would say that not too many other teams I'd be thrilled to possibly hit 9th on. It's a lineup that's so deep that I am completely fine hitting wherever I am in that lineup because of the guys and what they've done, in years past to be in this lineup. And it's a lot of firepower. And like I said to someone the other day, I don't know how we acquired every player that hits the ball 500 feet. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Now, I had always regarded Stripling as a pretty viable starter. He never got the chances that he should have with the Dodgers and Dave Roberts. We all know his MOs with moving guys around, using subs, bringing guys in from the bullpen for, 6 pitches and taking them out. Stripling was never otherworldly, but he definitely was a fairly solid pitcher. And so you look at the trade last year over to Toronto, probably didn't do him any favors. Actually, last year was one of his worst, if not his worst, just in terms of the runs and the home runs he gave up. He actually characteristically hadn't been a big home run guy. And then you look at, his home run to 9 last year was a 2.37, whereas before that it was a 1.09, 1.33, 1.21. So he more than doubled his home run rate year over year. His FIP was a 6.15, fielding independent pitching, which kind of isolates just his numbers as a pitcher. So it wasn't good. His K percentage dipped to 18% from 25 and 27% averages. The Yankees have to key in on somebody like this who's giving up too many hits. He's giving up more than a hit per inning. Even in the spring, you look at what he did. Throwing 14 1/3 innings, gave up 6 earned, 15 hits, more than a hit per inning, and only Kang 11 guys. Like I said, the Yankees really have to key in on a guy like this today. I'm excited to see what they can do, and hopefully they can come out with those bats explosive, give Kluber a 3-4-5 run lead, and he can kind of take it from there. I appreciate you guys listening. I really do. Hopefully you'll come back early next week when I put out the next podcast and our first video on YouTube. Once again, it's the Yankees Review. Thanks so much for listening.